opening another pack of Throne of Eldraine, also from the booster box. So the package hasn't arrived yet. I mean, it still says not even out for delivery, but based on past experience, it should be getting here like about an hour from now. Five, or, yeah. What else? So if you're keeping track with this pack, which is from the booster box, we are now a quarter of the way through the booster box, 2 weeks after the launch of Throne of Eldraine, which is not great. I mean, on one hand, it's great we're getting through so much, but on the other hand, since I'm not going to be able to buy anything because of trying to keep the purse string strong. So tiny. Flash, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets -2, -0. It gets -6, -0 instead, as long as its controller has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. His sword sounded like a silver chime on the glass jar, and the spirit laughed with delight. 64. So this one goes right here. So yeah, because of keeping the purse strings tight, it's kind of not like these are now going to take longer because I'm doing the spreadsheet thing as well. Barge in number 112. Turn attacking creature into target attacking creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Each attacking non-human creature gains trample until end of turn. The giant had heard of locks, but he had yet to discover a door he couldn't open. Art on that is kind of interesting. Yeah, so because of the spreadsheet stuff, like each one of these is each pack opening is going to take a bit longer, which is good, but and I mean being a quarter of the way through in 2 weeks means that within 8 weeks, Bardvale Paladin, I marked the wrong one on my spreadsheet. Human Knight, 5/2 for 4 mana, or 2/5 for 4 mana. If at least 3 white mana was spent to cast this spell, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Even when hope is but a small flame fighting the night, I will serve the absent king. So, yeah, I mean, we should technically be done with this by the end of November, or we should be done with the booster box by the end of November if we keep on pace, which may or may not happen. We're probably going to switch to doing War of the Spark. I mean, all right. So even though over these 2 weeks we've also been doing the Mistford River Turtle, 1/5 for 4 mana. Whenever it attacks another target attacking non-human creature can't be blocked this turn. The Fae raised the turtle from a tiny hatchling. They taught it whom to ferry and whom to drown. like even though it's been 2 weeks since we got these and we're a quarter of the way through the booster box, there's also the entire booster bundle as well as the planeswalker decks, but those shouldn't take too long. um, the other thing to consider though is that we've also been opening the Amonkhet stuff as well, so um, we're kind of probably going to be through this within 2 months. But the other thing is we're going to also begin War of the Spark soon as well. So, or we're all gonna have a lot going on. Yeah. All right. Malevolent Noble. 2/2 for 2 mana. Sacrifice an artifact or another creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on Malevolent Noble. He has slain a dozen witches, wearing each with a promise of fresh children's bones. 95. Mystic Sanctuary. So, yeah, if I'm gonna have to start buying more stuff before the end of the year, just because I think mathematically I'm going to run out. If I keep this pace, I'm probably going to run out of stuff about the beginning of January. So, yeah, I'm going to have to start Mystic Sanctuary. I'm gonna have to start buying more Magic the Gathering stuff, but I can hold off at least for a few weeks just to get enough saved up for the computer. And even after that, I mean, like I have a lot of other stuff to I have a lot of other stuff. It's just I don't have complete sets of a lot of stuff. So I mean, I've got Planeswalker decks for most of the sets already. I've got Hour of Devastation, the booster bundle, and the City of Ravnica booster bundle. So I mean, I have other stuff, and it's not going to be like I'm running around looking for stuff to open desperately. But yeah, at the same time, I'm definitely not going to have enough to do to hold over much beyond buying a computer. Like as soon as the computer is bought, it's back to buying Magic the Gathering stuff for a while. Merfolk Secret Keeper. Adventure. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard for 1 mana, and then for another mana you get a 0/4. Merfolk Curiosity usually has dire consequences, but rarely for the merfolk. 53. Fierce Witch Stalker. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, like if worst comes to worst, I could always open the Guilds of Ravnica booster bundle, and then while waiting for a booster box to get here. But I mean, that's still months away. So, yeah. 154. Fierce Witch Stalker. 4/4 for 4 mana with Trample. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. While the realm has laws, in the wilds there are other ways of balancing power. feel like a lot of the cards in this pack have not been duplicates. Like that's how. It's one of the weird things that I've kind of been noticing is what'll happen is when opening like a box or a bundle is for a while you'll be getting a lot of the same cards. Like every pack will have like the same 6 or so. But then again, we haven't gotten to that point yet. But it'll feel like they have like the same 6 or so Prophet of the Peak. Like common cards, and then there are just like 1 or 2 new ones that you see every time. And all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden it'll get to like a changeover point and you'll get like just wildly new cards. Like the last pack, if you remember, we had 7 duplicate cards. In this pack we're already a decent way in, and it's looking like we're gonna only have like 4 at the most. And probably not even. Hypnotic Spirit. Oh, it's one of those alternate artwork cards. So, 5, 6, 7, 8. 270. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's in the wrong spot. I don't even know if I have this one originally, but so we need blank page. It's the last blank page in this entire set. It's fine. Or maybe the last blank page, and then go back to here. And 75, 79. 280. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so a 2/1 with flying for 2 mana. The adventure is 3 mana, Mesmeric Glare. Counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. It's a fairy. Alternate artwork, that's cool. 283. Ooh, that wasn't great. I'm not even sure, do I have a regular hypnotics, but no, I do not. Cool. Alright. Spectre's Shriek. Do not have that either. Managed to open straight to the correct page. Alright, 1 mana. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player exiles that card. If a non-black card is exiled this way, exile a card from your hand. Okay. So you can get a card. Yeah. Imagine having your skeleton extracted through your ear, 1 bone at a time. Corwis the Wanderer. Oh, 6. It's right there. Swaying Fire. 43. For 3 mana, Swaying Fire deals 3 damage to any target. Adamant, it deals 4 damage instead. Adamant for 3 red mana. The purest virtue burns brighter than the sun and hotter than dragon fire. Alright. Yeah. Ooh. This one has a shiny as well. Rally the Throne. Alright. Storm Fist Crusader. Which I don't have. Nope. Yeah, I was just checking how many cards I had marked, and there was and there was only 12 instead of 13 when the rare should be. So, Stormfist Crusader. Menace. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses 1 life. As she reached the pinnacle, lightning flashed and her eyes blazed with newfound power. Legends of the Gilded Knights. 2 of 3. Rally for the Throne. This one is shiny. Foil, I guess. What it's properly called. So, we are going to save this one as well. I'm not sure I have the mountain, and the token card looks amazing. Should at least mark that. Rally the Throne. Do I have original like that? I do. It's an uncommon, but I have a non-foil copy of it. Alright, now we're looking for lands. Which mountain is here? No mountains, so we've got a new mountain. Mountain of the Pixies. 64, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Alright, and the token is on an adventure, which is definitely different from all the other tokens. 15, 18, 19, 20. So this is the last token. After an adventure resolves, you can place the exiled card here. You may cast the creature from exile. Like, the art on that is just gorgeous. Like, yeah, the knight galloping through the, hold on a second, always forget that if I just go right after entering stuff, it brings me back to the first row. Alright, so 16. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the art on that is. Alright, yeah, it's like the guy on a horse riding through the dark, haunted forest kind of thing. It's really interesting, and the framing of it with the vines around the edges is really nice. And I don't know, like the tokens in this set just look amazing compared to the other sets that I've seen. So they did a good job on that at least. So we had two duplicate cards, Mystic Sanctuary and Prophet of the Peak. Out of 16 cards, we had one foil, one alternate art, one token that we didn't have, two duplicates, so like 11 kind of actual cards or formal cards of the set that weren't duplicates. Prophet of the Peak. And so yeah, I'm gonna wait until the my package gets delivered, and then I'll be back on. So maybe as short as, so probably within an hour ish. But I don't know. That also depends on how I'm feeling at the moment. I may get sucked into an episode of a TV show or YouTube video or something. So but I will be back tonight for at least one more, and it's probably going to be us opening our first booster pack from the booster bundle instead of the booster box. So we'll get to see what that looks like. Alright, thank you for joining me. This has been Zigzag.